Do you sit a lot? Do you work on a desk? Do you work on a computer? Do you drive a lot? Do you have poor posture? Do you have neck pain, shoulder pain, hip pain, lower back pain, knee pain, maybe ankle pain? Have I caught you yet? Do you know the number one thing that you can be doing for me daily prior to getting in here? Do you know what it is? Foam rolling. Hey, don't stop. Don't stop the video, okay? We are now in a society where we are sitting so much with poor posture. So what happens is when we sit a lot, okay? Look here. Everything in my anterior front side of my body, it gets into a locked, shortened state. Okay, so our chest, our pecs, our hip flexors, our abs, they're locked short. And when they're locked short, they become dense and tight. But then look at the other side, right? These muscles become locked long. So your posterior chain muscles are locked long. And that's one of the biggest issues that we have when it comes to shoulder pain, neck pain, hip pain, lower back pain, knee pain. It's because we are in a tightened or elongated state, depending on what side of the body it is, and this is prohibiting movement and full range of motion. So what is happening to our bodies right now is what's called creep. So I'm sure you've played with Play-Doh before. You take Play-Doh out, it's like a new baby, right? You take Play-Doh out, it's soft, it's malleable, it's flexible, it's moldable, right? And then maybe you put it back in, but you leave the cap off just a little bit. And what happens to that? It dries out and becomes brittle and cracked and tight and tough. That is exactly what's happening to our bodies right now. The reason that we foam roll is because it helps to regenerate our soft tissue quality, okay? Because there's a neurological change in our tissue tone. So one of the things that you can do is self myofascial release, which is you can either do it with a lacrosse ball, you can do it with a foam roller or a Theragun, but we need to open up the body. And we also need to get our posterior chain back into normal range and our anterior chain opened up there, okay? So if you think about it, as we lift, you love to lift, you love to get stronger, but when we lift, we tear some muscles, and as they repair themselves, our muscles get tighter and stronger. But the problem is, if we're not recovering and we're constantly lifting, constantly creating that stress, that tear, that tightening, that strengthening of the muscle, everything's gonna get really tight. And then we're gonna start to have some shoulder issues here. And oh, wow, I didn't have this, but now, or we're gonna have it here, or we're gonna have it in our lower back. Foam rolling is the number one thing that you can do for me. And some of the benefits is because it increases blood flow to the muscle, it lengthens and elongates the muscle, it increases muscle flexibility and function, which is wonderful. It repairs tight muscles and fatigued muscles. It even returns and restores the body to its natural state. And if you are working hard, especially if you're here, we really need to get into those pecs, open it up, okay, get back into that good posture, because this is gonna take a lot of stress off the joint range of motion as well as the joint. It's going to help correct muscle imbalances, and then it just decreases the overall stress of human movement. So if you're not doing this and you're tight in your shoulders, in your pecs, in your hips, in your hamstrings, in your lower back, in your IT bands, we're going to have to start from a very baseline progression, and I'm not going to have enough time to work with you because the one thing that I need you to do is open up. Okay, so whatever it is, I need you all to get a foam roller. Okay, and now the foam roller you choose, the density and preference based on your tightness and soreness is going to be different per each individual. When you foam roll, I want you to think that you're applying pressure to the tissues, okay? So your mechanoreceptors can feel it, and then it sends it up to the hypothalamus, and then it comes back down in order to relax. However, if you are going too hard and you're sweating and you're holding your breath and it's like an 8 or a 9 out of a 10, you are completely negating what we're trying to do. So you want to choose a foam roller that you can start to work with, and eventually you'll change your foam roller density so that it's about a level 6 out of a 10, so that you can really relax into that stretch or relax into the roll so that you can get your nervous system to work with you. Okay, so think of a 6 out of 10. When you roll, breathing is super important. We're gonna talk a lot about breathing. Breathing sounds super silly. It's not. I want you to take a long, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. So as you roll, maintain that normal breathing. We're gonna do a lot of breathing. Everything we do in this barn, you're gonna be breathing, okay? So I want you to start to think to sink into and roll into those tender spots. If you find one, you can change direction, you can sit on it, but think 3 to 5 breaths on a tender spot, and think 5 to 10 passes on your tightness. And this is gonna give you some autonomy to explore your areas of tension, and then you're gonna be able to work through that. So for me, I want you to start with 5 to 10 minutes of foam rolling, especially your lower body, most importantly your lower body, but your pecs. Take a lacrosse ball. If you're at work, you can do this. Okay, maybe you teach kids and you can't, but I need you, if you're watching TV or if you're scrolling through Facebook or watching this video, you should be rolling. Okay, so the biggest thing that I need you to do is be consistent and diligent. Right now, okay, I'm not giving you workouts. I'm not continuing the workouts because there are so many things that we need to fix. Okay, and if you neglect this part of the program, you're neglecting your success, you're neglecting your injuries, you're neglecting getting better, you're neglecting your success, your results, your happiness, your freedom of joint function, and you're also neglecting my education that I'm going to give you. So I'm gonna provide down below some foam roller options that you can get, and I would like you to start posting in our exclusive page when you foam roll, okay? So go get a roller, get a lacrosse ball, get a Theragun, and let's get to opening up and freeing our joints